So first question, what the heck is this? And secondly, in what world would the game crash for me starting around? Minion Rush. It's one of those games you have vague memories for back in the golden age of mobile gaming, or you absolutely despise it just because, well, minions. What do you expect out of it? This did seem, however, like it was just as bad as games like Temple Run Brave as much as a cash-in, but, however, the game ended up being on par with games like Where's My Parry, aka really good in its own genre. The controls are very snappy for an autorunner, and the energetic game design molds well, and the charming locations and references add to how good it was. Also,
Vector! That's me.
The bosses were simple but effective with how they were set up and how the standard gameplay scale applied to them, and also, yeah, they got really fast and intense. Over the years, there were many updates primarily for the worst, so we'll be figuring out how Minion Rush ended up, unfortunately, falling from grace. So what's the game about? Well, it definitely ain't about Arena! So this is pretty much your average 3-lane autorunner like Subway Surfers, but of course starring those yellow terrier tots that everybody hates. However, they weren't hated during the time this game originally launched, so there's that. Like I said earlier, the controls are very snappy for a 3-lane autorunner, with the ability to perform near misses being one of the most satisfying things in autorunning history. Naturally, power-ups have to exist in an autorunner, and the banana vacuum is just your average magnet, but it had to be designed differently because of, well, what your collectibles are. The banana split, which, well, just doubles the bananas you collect, simple enough. Simple doubler ability. We have the oh so awesome freeze, which allows you to freeze everything in your path and then smash through it. So satisfying. And lastly I mentioned is the PX4 serum, allowing you to transform into the ravenous purple minion, allowing you to maul through absolutely everything at high speeds. However, this was only originally available every 24 hours, so there is that. The rest of the items include a common shield, Gru's rocket, Agnes's unicorn, the moon itself, the mega potion, and a couple of event vehicles are pretty insignificant. However, the main thing that happened was structure changes. After a long history of several great updates adding more locations and power-ups to the game, which I all really enjoyed, the first cardinal sin I noticed back in the day was how they raised the price of the revive all the way up to 20 Gru tokens, which is ridiculous. And this is also apparently somehow around the time when Game Loft was like, oh, let's get greedy and try and match King in their greed. Yeah, let's do that. And then came the first biggest update ever, which is the first big structure change as mentioned before. The Jelly Lab was the first big structure change for the game, and it wasn't complete doomsday because look, they allow you to keep all your current progress on items and all the locations you found. The format of how it goes is this. Pretty much you have 3 fruits in order to collect, being like strawberries and other things, like grapes I believe. So what you gotta do is you gotta do tasks, like grab bananas without the unicorn, grab items with the unicorn, yeah, stuff like that. But my foggy memory proves me wrong as you can keep going even after all the objectives are done until you die. But all the levels are formatted in a Candy Crush-like style, and yeah, they pretty much go on forever, like actual Candy Crush. Sometimes you get to spin a wheel with a minion being tortured on it, and sometimes you get access a level earlier than intended. However, unfortunately, most of these levels start to get very bland and samey, so this doesn't really matter. Trying to turn an autorunner into an objective-based runner with Candy Crush-like styling is not a good idea, because it's like they're trying to cater to Facebook. Oh wait! Yeah, this is when everyone started to hate Minions, alongside myself back in 2014 because of all the stupid advertising for the Minions movie, and we all forgot about this game, like myself. And yet it was a race mode during 2017, which is when Mel from Despicable Me 3 was added, but that didn't help at all, really. So where does Gameloft go from here? Into Gehenna if it wasn't obvious enough. So already, this mobile menu is looking a bit stereotypical with all the things around it. Bananas are replaced with coins, and the Gru coins are replaced with tokens, as they say. Now the shop is looking a lot more stereotypical, with the prize pods that weren't that bad originally, have now been made the main thing that the game has to offer, and look, I'm gonna buy one. Nothing of much value. This character select feels familiar. I should have anticipated there'd be a pass. Yeah, and of course, now what I mentioned earlier about the gameplay ending once the objective is done has become true. Yeah, see, once that timer is up, that's it, no more. And besides, time and distance are pretty much the same things, and getting bananas with a specific item is better for an objective, to be honest. Yeah, I pretty much turned this classic autorunner god into pretty much just chore simulator, but with loot boxes. And yeah, go to hell, Gameloft. Here's the recap. Minion Rush used to be in godhood of mobile games for its genre, aka the autorunning genre amongst Temple Run, Subway Surfers, stuff like that. But then it became a chore simulator that nobody should ever endure. The shift in the mobile gaming market from fun time wasters to useless grindy gacha games was definitely bad for many devs, but other games in this similar genre of autorunning were able to adapt to this change, and a very sudden one at that. Havoc remembered to keep updating the game with cool things like the special skins and the new power-up system that was also really awesome and fun to mess around with. Sonic Dash did have a restructure, but, however, the gameplay's core, which is pure endlessness, is still here, despite the fact that the way of unlocking levels is different. But for Minion Rush, the core has been completely altered from pure endlessness to objective-based chores. Doing anything here is not worth any sort of flexing, unlike my Where's My Water and Nightmare Tower flex, because A, one was actually good, and B, the other one was on Flash, and C, flexing my cards in Skullgirls Mobile was better than this. And even if you ignore the objective, like grab bananas while using Groove Rocket, there's a no distance record to obtain, so you're pretty much doing nothing for a long while until you die and you get jack shit. And now this is where it ends.
Dead.